All right, I gotta take some time to address this here.
If he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
Did you hear about the latest shocking twist in the world of celebrity scandals? Picture this: on the very day Diddy got arrested, Marjorie Harvey decided it was the perfect moment to file for divorce from Steve Harvey. Coincidence? Some people think not. In fact, this whole situation is stirring up all kinds of wild rumors that tie Steve Harvey, the beloved TV-host and comedian, right into Diddy's downward spiral. But let's take a step back and look at how all this came crashing down.
Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in hand.
First off, in case you've been living under a rock, Diddy, or as some still call him, Puff Daddy, has been arrested. And we're not talking about a minor offense here. The charges, let's just say they're serious. We're talking conspiracy, trafficking, and even more alarming accusations that have the entertainment world gasping. But Diddy's problems don't just stop with him. It's like a ripple effect. The bigger Diddy's fall gets, the more people he's dragging down with him. And one of those people just might be Steve Harvey. Yeah, you heard that right. Steve Harvey, the guy who's been all smiles and dad jokes on our screens, might be caught up in the same storm that's sinking Diddy.
No, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in...
Let's rewind a bit. For years, Diddy has been a titan in the entertainment world, building an empire from his music career, business ventures, and his flashy persona. But what we didn't see was the dark side behind all that glitz and glam. Diddy's legendary parties, rumored to be the hottest ticket in town, are now being exposed for what they really were: wild, scandalous events where anything and everything went down. And guess who's been rumored to attend some of these over the tubes wires? Yet none other than Steve Harvey.
Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact...
Now Steve Harvey is known for his sharp suits, his motivational speeches, and being the ultimate family man. His entire brand is built around his image as a self-made man who pulled himself up from the streets of Cleveland to become one of the most beloved figures in Hollywood. So when rumors started flying that Steve had some kind of involvement in Diddy's notorious parties, fans were absolutely floored. Could it be true? Could Steve Harvey have been part of the same circle that's now crashing down? With its special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include a leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them. Let's just say where there's smoke, there's usually fire. People are now speculating that Steve wasn't just an innocent bystander. There are whispers that he knew way more than he let on. And with the kind of charges Diddy is facing, it's not hard to imagine that some pretty big names are involved. After all, Diddy's not the type to roll solo. He's been rubbing elbows with illustrious for decades. But why Steve? Why now? Well, it seems that Diddy's arrest has opened a Pandora's box of secrets, and Steve Harvey's name is slowly being dragged through the mud.
I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
But what really has people talking is the timing of Marjorie Harvey's decision to file for divorce. It's almost too perfect. Right on the very day that Diddy is taken into custody, Marjorie is already lining up to cut ties with Steve. It's as if she knows something big is about to hit, and she's trying to get ahead of it. Some people are saying this is a classic move to protect her assets, especially with all the potential lawsuits and scandals that could be coming their way. After all, Steve's fortune is huge. He's reportedly worth hundreds of millions of dollars, thanks to his TV shows, book deals, and business ventures. If there's any truth to the rumors linking him to Diddy's mess, you can bet there are going to be plenty of lawyers trying to get their hands on that fortune data. This is the end of the Diddy story as we know it, but here's where it gets even more interesting. Mirror and Steve's relationship has always seemed picture perfect, right? The happy couple who blended their families and appeared on red carpets looking like they were straight out of a romance novel. Well, not so fast. Behind the scenes, there have been whispers for years that things weren't as rosy as they seemed. In fact, rumors of divorce have been circulating long before Diddy's arrest even happened. The public just didn't know how bad things really were. Mar, the thing that Mar's not telling you: business. Okay, now don't let me start business. And now with Diddy's arrest, it looks like everything's coming to a head. There's speculation that Marjo's sudden move to file for divorce isn't just about ending her marriage, it's about protecting the Harvey empire. Imagine if Steve's connection to Diddy gets fully exposed, and Marjorie's wealth is at risk of being tied up in the fallout. It makes perfect sense that she would want to get out while she still can, securing her share of the fortune before everything potentially blows up. The alleged evidence that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles, and the indictment names that the thing sees that he allegedly made videos of these performances as that have been named for. But here's where things get even murkier. There are plenty of conspiracy theories swirling around that this whole divorce might be nothing more than a strategic move. Think about it. What if Marjorie and Steve had been planning this for months, knowing that Diddy's arrest was inevitable? By filing for divorce now, they could be trying to distance their assets from whatever legal troubles are coming Steve's way. In other words, this could all be an elaborate ploy to keep their money safe from the prying hands of the law. I saw it posted yesterday all over all social media pages. Cassie fought a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy. She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse. And let's not forget that Marjorie isn't exactly a stranger to scandal. People who've been paying attention to her past know that she's had some shady connections before. Her first 2 husbands were both involved in major criminal enterprises, which makes it hard to believe that she's just an innocent victim here. If anything, Marjorie knows how to navigate sticky situations like this, and some would argue she's been preparing for a moment like this her whole life.
Please, stop ignoring the red flags in your relationship and thinking you can change a man.
But let's not jump too far ahead. At the heart of all this drama is a relationship that once looked like the ultimate hole-up Hollywood love story. Steve and Marjorie Harvey have been married for over a decade, and from the outside looking in, it seemed like they had it all: fame, fortune, and a blended family that Steve constantly gushed about on his shows. Marjorie was by his side during some of his biggest moments, and together, they seemed like an unstoppable power couple. Was it Diddy's arrest that was the final nail in the coffin for their marriage, or had things been crumbling long before that? If you dig a little deeper, there are signs that the cracks in their relationship have been showing for a while. Steve's been noticeably stressed in recent months, and there have been rumors of tension between him and Marjorie over their finances. Some say that Steve's been throwing himself into his work more than ever, which is often a telltale sign that something's going wrong at home. Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention, so they go and they arrest them. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. Whatever the case may be, Marjorie filing for divorce on the same day Diddy got arrested is no coincidence. It's almost as if she knew what was coming and decided to jump before it was too late. And can you really blame her, with Diddy's name being dragged through the mud and Steve's name now potentially being linked to those same scandals? Marjorie is doing what anyone in her position would do, protecting herself and her fortune. That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway, and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes. But here's the kicker: some people are saying that Marjorie is not just trying to protect herself from the scandal, she's been planning this for years. In fact, there are rumors that she's been looking for an out from her marriage with Steve for a while now. Diddy's arrest just gave her the perfect excuse to finally make her move. Think about it: if Steve does end up being tied to Diddy's downfall, Marjorie can wash her hands of the whole thing and claim she had no part in it. And if Steve manages to escape unscathed, well, she's still walking away with a massive chunk of his. For my wife, she got up with me, she was the best. So is Margie a victim in all of